Does anyone have a question?
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
I would like you to talk a little bit today about how we all have the capacity to transform tension around us. I feel in the world we live today, it would be great to have a refresher from you about that.
Honestly, Magali, I don't know what to do about this world we live in. It's a crazy world. It's full of tension and ego and people doing a lot of damage to each other. But it's also a world that consistently reminds me that I need to stay above it. I need to get strong enough in myself not to be sucked into the politics, into all the, ego stuff that goes on, and to have a system, because instead of reaching into the world of politics to get answers to your problems, and people never get them, to reach where there really are answers, and that is a connection with spirit, with higher energy in the universe. And every time I read the media and I look at all this nonsense that goes on in the world, it reminds me I have no choice but to detach from it and to connect with a higher force in the universe, to give me the strength inside to be able to, be free of it, not to be able to be, sucked into it like some gigantic vacuum cleaner that takes all your life and energy. And I think that to me, this is an essential thing, and it's what illusion is. You understand? And if you use it that way, the illusion becomes reality because the illusion is teaching you that you truly have to get connected with spirit. And how do you get connected with spirit? You don't get connected with spirit by walking around saying, I want to be connected with spirit. I'm going to be connected. I mean, that's just bullshit. It doesn't work. You do the inner work that you're being taught to build a system inside that is strong enough to, first of all, detach yourself from all of that illusion, that maya, that tension of that political world, that whole world of celebrity and charisma, and that people worship in our society. To detach and to connect with what's real, with energy that has no limitation, when energy that transcends, all of the illusion and all of the madness that goes on in the world. Energy that will teach you how to break all of that stuff down and use it, as a tool to grow spiritually. I mean, can I do anything about the madness in the world? No, I can't. And I gave up trying when I was in my late 20s. You know, in my early 20s, I used to picket and march and scream and yell and, wanting the bad guy out and the good guy in. And, and the good guy would get in and he was just as bad as the bad guy. And it was just stupid, the whole thing. And that's what controls our world. It's a lack of consciousness, a lack of spirit, people's ego, power, wanting the world to function the way they think it should function, and it never does. So you have to have the strength inside, and that strength doesn't come to a human being because we get up in the morning. It comes because you truly do work on yourself to build it. That's what these meditations are about. I say it all the time. These meditations are not a spiritual life, but these meditations are a tool that you can use to learn how to build an inner life that will make you strong enough to connect with higher energy in the universe and have a spiritual life.
I feel during these days, more and more having this picture of Rudy. I've been told many times by different students that Rudy would go to a movie theater and watch a horror movie
Yeah, I
and
used to go all the time with him.
brave the energy and kind of transform that energy. And I feel,
I used to go all the time with him to movies, all kinds of plays, movies. I think we went to every Chinese restaurant in Chinatown in New York, you know? I mean, I all the time. I used to hang out with Rudy. You forget that. And he was the one who taught me about how to take the illusion and transform it into a spiritual.
and it's wonderful to hear you talking about that because I feel like today we all need that reminder
Well,
that
the whole
even
world
if
does.
we are hopeless, we can. This is what we can do.
The
We
whole
can
world
do
does.
that.
Right now, there are maybe 20 people sitting. I mean, it's insane. You understand when you begin to talk a certain truth about life, everybody runs somewhere else. They want the illusion.
Mhm.
It's scary and it's stupid, but it's really true. You know, and everybody complains about it. I mean, Trump wanted the attorney general to be some guy who was being tried for sex trafficking. I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff you read. How stupid can people be? And yet it's all about their own ego and their own self-protection and about creating a world around them, that they can control. You understand? And it becomes a world that screws everybody up. And nothing I can do about it. I can do something about me. I can work on me, and I do work on me to simply get strong enough in myself not to be sucked into that gigantic vacuum cleaner called illusion that controls the life of just about everybody that lives on this planet. And I would rather spend my time doing work to get strong enough, than being sucked into all the illusion. And I don't mean going to a movie and a restaurant. I mean that you got to live. Watching some sports event on television or going to we all have to live. We have to live in the world. But I mean, I used to go to, when I lived in Denton, Texas, Denton, Texas, North Texas State University had a pretty good basketball team. And I used to go to the games and I would go literally the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game. Why? If it was a close game, there were 4,000 people sitting in the arena screaming and yelling and cheering and screaming and yelling. So much energy was being thrown into. I would just sit there and do a minute and just take it all in. I used to walk out there semi-enlightened of one of those basketball games. I mean that. I mean, did I care who won or lost? I had absolutely no interest in who won or lost. I just thought the energy was so powerful. I was just sitting there taking in all the people yelling and fighting with the refs. And it was unbelievable what was going on. It was energy. What do I give a damn how it comes? Somebody is angry at you, they scream, keep your mouth shut and just take the energy in. It'll exhaust them eventually, you know? And you'll just take the energy in. It'll make you grow. I mean, it's not the usual way that people look at the world. Everybody wants to make it right. I don't think it's ever going to be made right. I can't remember a day in my life where the world hasn't been crazy. I mean, can you imagine cable news covering World War II? Imagine what we would have here. I mean, I was born at the beginning of World War II. Can you imagine what would be going on in the newspapers and the media and online if World War II is going on right now? We have a little war there in Israel, in Palestine, you know? And look what the madness. I cannot remember a day in my life where it hasn't been crazy here. And when I was younger, it used to make me crazy. I couldn't understand it. I wanted to write everything. And then I realized, no, you can't. Write yourself, Stuart. Fix yourself. Get strong enough to connect with God. Build that kind of system inside. And then you'll begin to see the world differently. The person screaming and yelling at you is no longer your enemy. They're just spitting energy at you because you're not intimidated by their nonsense. You know? And you don't have to prove yourself right. Just take the energy in. Say thank you. And when it's over with, you walk away. Problem is, everybody has to be right. And then you have war. Then you really have war because nobody's right. Wow. Good question. Really got me rolling here. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, will be class on Sunday. And I'm going to say it again. I've been saying it after every class. Take it all with you. Don't leave it here. Don't leave it on Zoom. Take all of this energy, the power of this energy, and bring it into the chakra below the navel and let it live inside you. Not as something you think about and analyze, but as a living energy force. Let it be inside you. And you'll see how it will transform the way you look at the world. You'll no longer have enemies. You just have people teaching you what to do and what not to do in life. I mean that. You just bow to them. They're the teachers. Life is the teacher. Does anyone else have a question? So take it with you, really. And I'll repeat it. Don't think about it. Just let it find its place inside you. And just let it be a living reality that exists inside you. It'll change the way you see the world. Okay, if there are no more questions, then we will have meditation on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing everybody. And thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for being my teacher. Really, I need a teacher. You all are my teacher. God bless you all. Thank you. There'll be a class on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
Night, Stuart. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.